Hi, I'm Gary Thompson, and welcome to another edition of Boyle Talks. Today we'll be talking with Matt Hayden, who is currently our CFO, but this is going to be a really special episode of Boyle Talks. We're here to announce today that Matt is not just our CFO, now he is our President and CEO of Boyle Investment Company. Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you, Gary. I'm just humbled and honored for this promotion. Been at the company for a little over 8 years, and it's just been a great company to work for, and I'm super excited and, like I said, humbled and honored to be here.
Well, you're the first non-family member to be the president of Boyle in our almost 90-year history. So this is a big deal.
It is, and something, like I said, I'm very honored to be here. And in my career, I started out with Ernst & Young here in Memphis,
right?
Now known as EY. Started that in the year 2000. Worked on audits in a number of different industries, primarily financial institutions and banks, and actually worked on the Boyle audit at the time. And so I spent 3 years there and had a really good experience, but left the public accounting world and went to investment banking with Morgan Keegan.
Right.
And Morgan Keegan was a great experience. Spent 9 years there. Investment banking world, I was doing merger and acquisition advisory,
right.
Primarily in a lot of different industries, but financial services, transportation, logistics, a little bit of real estate, and so gained a lot of experience in just different companies.
Right.
But after 9 years there, I left and went to Wunderlich Securities,
right.
Another Memphis firm. Spent 2 years there until 2014, when I joined Boyle.
Right. So it's sort of been a whirlwind since you got here. You replaced our old CFO, who was legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Big shoes to fill, but you just came in and fit right in. Tell us about what all has happened since you got here and things that you've done.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Charles Claiborne, who was our CFO for 35 plus years, was looking to retire. And so he set out to find a replacement. And luckily, I happened to be at the right place at the right time. And had the opportunity to join Boyle, and I joined as deputy treasurer.
Right.
We had a couple of major projects to undertake at the time. One being putting in a new accounting and financial system,
right,
and property management system.
Right.
At the time, we had two different systems. One was for our accounting, one was for property management. So we switched to what is known as Yardi systems, and are still with that today, in September of 2015.
So you came in and made a big difference in our accounting department and our sales and leasing department. You work not only with our Memphis office, but also our Nashville office, which has grown precipitously in 20 years.
Absolutely.
And you've been a part of that almost for half that office life. So
right. Well, Charles was extremely gracious in that he stayed here for over 5 years. This was not a short-term transition.
Right.
We called it long-term transition. Right. And he basically, over time, transitioned a lot of the CFO duties to me as time allowed. But one of the things that I learned in investment banking was that I love deals and transactions.
Right.
And so getting back into that world was exciting. And so I started helping our Memphis and Nashville teams on development projects, major leasing transactions. We also have a Mid-South Capital Fund, which I started analyzing things on that, and we've made 5 property acquisitions and did 2 dispositions and 1 spin-out, or actually 3 dispositions. And so that was just getting back in the deal world was interesting to me. It was something I thought I would miss, but it happened to be that we have a lot going on here, as you know.
Yeah, sure. So, Matt, you mentioned that your hiring in your position here at Boyle was part of a succession plan, and that's been going on the entire time you've been with the company. Mm-hmm. Your promotion is also part of the continuing succession plan as the family members get older, as the company presidents and senior vice president, executive vice, all of that group's getting older. Tell us, the company's now moving into almost its 90th anniversary next year. Where do you see the company going? What are your plans for the future? Give us your vision as the new CEO and president.
Sure. Well, it's very important. This is a huge milestone, 90 years. And, I kind of set sights to 100 years in 2033. As part of this transition, our accounting team is in great hands. We have a near 40-year employee, Debbie Shelton, and a new hire that we hired last year, Bo Leslie, who's been here approximately a year. It's in great hands in our accounting group. So I think my future role will be to work with the Boyle and Morgan families to analyze, how we allocate capital, the markets that we're in Memphis and Nashville, new property acquisitions, property dispositions, loan refinancings, and just really kind of setting part of the strategic vision for the future, which I don't think is a huge change from what we've been doing for 90 years.
Right.
But it's just about keeping up with the current times, the changes in the real estate markets. One of the things we've seen in Nashville is that most of these projects are large, mixed-use, very complex projects.
Right.
They're not as simple as they've never been simple, but not as simple as they've been in the past.
Right.
And so it's just about analyzing this and determining where we want to invest dollars in the future and how to grow stronger, over the next 10 years as we reach 100 years old.
The Boyle family and the Morgan family have been around for a long time. I mean, their roots go all the way back to the formation of Memphis and Overton, and all of that. They've been a great corporate citizen. Sounds like the future is really bright for us to continue to be a great business here in Memphis and our expansion into Nashville. We just want to be community players. Can you speak to that issue a little bit?
Absolutely. And what I would say is, the Memphis history goes back over 90 years, really. But in Nashville, we've had an office there for a little over 20 years. And they've carefully selected the markets they've gone into. And we've got an excellent team there. And they've had a major positive impact on that community, just as Boyle has over the last 90 years and, into the future. And so it's very important for us to maintain that. We're not passive real estate investors. Right. We like to touch and feel and know the communities and properties that we're investing in, and that's an important part of the culture here. And I think that's why we've got such a long-term employees and people that really like being here.
Right. Because we own properties, we invest and then own them and maintain them and lease them and rent them for long periods of time, which is a little different than traditional, particularly more in the Nashville market, I would say, than Memphis. But that ownership mentality is something that we bring to every project that we work on.
That is correct. Whether we're a third-party manager or we own 100% of a particular building or asset, we take pride in knowing and treating it like it's ours.
Right.
And we don't want to impact communities in a negative way at all. We always want to have a positive impact. And, that's something that, like I said, has been done here in Memphis for 90 plus years and has been done in Nashville for over 20, and we want to continue to do that going forward.
I know one of the things why I like working here and why I've been here as long as I have is just because the family has just such integrity. They want to do the right thing. They always want their employees to do the right thing and just to treat people nice and properly. That's going to continue.
It absolutely will. And, one of the things I'll be doing is working closely with Paul, Henry Morgan Jr., Byard Morgan, right, and their fathers, of course. But, this culture has been something that's withstood a long period of time. Right. And that's why we have such long-term employees. And that's something we definitely want to continue. So really, this is more of like I said, it's a great honor for me. And I want to continue to do what I'm doing. I don't see the culture of the company changing at all. I see it's just trying to continue that in the future the best way we can.
Well, Matt, thank you for joining me today on Boyle Talks. This is exciting news, and congratulations on your new promotion. I can't wait to see where you take the company, and I think it's only bright days ahead.
Well, thanks so much, Gary. I really appreciate it.
You bet. And thank you for joining us today on another episode of Boyle Talks. For more information about Boyle or any of our communities, visit us at boyle.com.